let me start our class. If anybody else, they will join. First we go through the review. Then after we go for today class. Right. So last class we are discussed about AC and DC. So AC current, what is DC current, what we are called. So those things will be we are discussed in the last class, right? So AC is nothing but the voltage or the current, which magnitude and direction both are changes periodically with a respect time. So that is we are called as a alternating current. So these are the one of the example for AC current. So both magnitude as well as direction also changes for every half cycle. This is generally we are called as a sine wave. So there are some types of also will be there. There is a sawtooth. Sawtooth is nothing but the shape will be we are getting like as a triangular. So if you are taking x and y axis, so the structure will be like this. It will be start from 0 and reaches to the maximum state and decreases to 180 degrees, negatively increasing and decreases to 0. Means it will be completed a 360 degrees. So this is type will be we are called as a sawtooth. So some also will be there. So those things will be we are discussed later. But first we know about the concept of alternating current. This is a basic formula for voltage. For current, instead of V, we are selecting as a small I where and capital Im sin omega t. Maximum voltage and maximum current, angular frequency and time. So these are the concept will be we are discussed here. DC is nothing but direct current. So that is we are called as a if the direction as well as magnitude does not changes with respect to the time period or with a given time. So then that will be we are called as a direct current. Direct voltage also the same definition. If the voltage it does not change its direction and magnitude with respect to the time. So those will be we are called as a direct voltage and direct current. Examples: batteries, DC generators, solar cells, fuel cells. These are the major examples for the DC. Next, last class we are also discussed about Ohm's law. Ohm's law is invented by means of the scientist Ohm in his name of honoring. So that is we are called as a Ohm's law. He is a German scientist. So he is working on the physics. So he is invented the Ohm's law experimentally. So అంతకుముందు అన్నీ కూడా జస్ట్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ ఏం లేవు, జస్ట్ we have the theories. But he is the first scientist discovered the relationship between resistance, voltage and current. So that is he is invented. So according to his law, the statement we can written here, the voltage across a conductor, the voltage across a conductor is directly proportional to the current. Or simple another definition, the temperature remains constant. The current flowing in a circuit or conductor is directly proportional to the applied voltage or the potential difference between the two ends. For example, మనము కండక్టర్ తీసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి, this is one conductor. So it is connected to the a source. So source దాన్ని మనం EMF కన్సిడర్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం. Then only the current is passing through that. So the current conduction generally from positive to negative. So in this direction, the current is flowing through the conductor. So the electron movement will be from left hand side to the right hand side. So the speed or the velocity or movement of electrons will be depending upon the applied voltage only. For example, we are applying 1 volt, 1 ampere current will be flowing. Just assuming. Practically 1 amp current is not flowing exactly whenever we are applying 1 volt. That is depending upon the some factors. Resistance మీద depend అవుతుంది, voltage, temperature, nature of material. Those are all the other factors, right? So it is not an important thing, but we should understand the concept. So when we are applying 1 volt, 1 ampere current will be flowing through the conductor. So similarly, when we are increases into 10 volts, so the current flowing through the conductor is also 10 amps. Means how much voltage we are applying here. So according to that, the current flowing through the conductor also changes, directly proportional. It is increases, it is increases. If we are decreasing the value of application, automatically the current flowing through the conductor or the circuit also decreases. So that is we are called as a Ohm's law, right? So simple statement. So here we are write the voltage across a conductor is directly proportional to the current flowing through it. So there is a physical condition this, that is the temperature remains constant. If the temperature is not constant, then the Ohm's law is not applicable. So from the animation, we can observe those things. The force is, so how it will be carries the charges. So that is will be gives the momentum of current. So where R is there presence, R will be we are called as a resistance. So from that we draw a relationship between the voltage and current. So that is according to the statement, what is voltage is directly proportional to the current. So V is directly proportional to the I value. Capital V is directly proportional to I. But every equation is we get in the equation form only. But there is a proportional constant is present. So to remove the proportional constant, so there is a constant is required. So the constant we are taking as a R, capital R we are taking as a constant. So from that we draw the relationship between the voltage and current. So then V is directly proportional to I. Then the equation V is equals to I into R. So where R is the proportional constant, or is a proportional constant, right? So this is a basic formula. V is equals to I into R. So from that we can derive the remaining two relationship. So just we are moving from one location to the another location. For example, if you want to find out I equation, so then R is moving to the LHS side. So then what we are getting here, V. So here it is a multiplier. R is multiplied with I. But whenever it is moved to the LHS side, it come to the denominator. So if it is its side, numerator, then other side it becomes a denominator. So then V by R is equals to I. So then simple ga manam em rastunnam, LHS side moving to RHS side, RHS side moving to LHS side. So then the equation is becomes I is equals to V by R. Similarly, to determine the R value, R is equals to, we are write as a V by I. Same from this also. So from this first equation, so we want to determine the R value. So I should be moved to the LHS side. So then what the equation we are getting here? V by I, because I is RHS side multiplied. So whenever it will be moving to the LHS side, it come to the denominator. So denominator, it will become to the denominator area. So then R is equals to V by I. Just we are moving LHS side into RHS side, RHS side into LHS side. So finally, we are getting the equation R is equals to V by I. So this is the R value. So from the Ohm's law, we can determine the relationship between the voltage, current and resistance values. Right? So these are the example and characteristics of the Ohm's law. So we are taking a resistor. It is a resisting element. So how many number of resistors will be connected in series? right? So then whenever the voltage is applied, then the current will be start flowing through that conductor. So that is directly proportional to the applied voltage and inversely proportional to the resistance value. Inversely proportional to the resistance value. So from the diagram we can observe the voltage is tried to push the ampere is nothing but electrons or currents to moving forward. So it is supports means so how the energy is applied on ampere, so that much the electron movement will be takes place, but the resistance will be opposites. So these three relationship can be we are obtained. So simply, so that's why we are writing as a V is directly proportional to I and V is inversely proportional to the resistance. Inverse is nothing but 1 by or directly proportional to direct we can write the digit of current value. So from the same relationship we are writing as a V is equals to I by R. So this is a basic relationship we can draw here, right? So this is about the resistance, voltage and current. So this is a graphical representation for Ohm's law. So almost we are getting the linear characteristics. We are getting the linear characteristics. First we know the concept of what is linear characteristics and what is a non-linear characteristics. So simply understand from the diagram. For example, a resistor we are connected across a voltage source. It is a voltage source. It is a resistor. So whenever the potential is applied to the circuit, the current is flowing through that. So where V is the voltage we are applied in, voltage another name EMF, electromotive force. So the EMF will be we are applied, then the current is start flowing through the circuit. So for example we are taking the resistor. Basically a resistor only offers one characteristics, is nothing but just it is opposites. సో దాన్ని ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ ని రిమూవ్ చేయడం కానీ యాడ్ చేయడం కానీ చేయదు. జస్ట్ అది ఏం చేస్తుందంటే రెసిస్టెన్స్ ఆ స్లో డౌన్ ద మూవ్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ electrons. So that function only it can be performed, right? So just we are thinking about this circuit. So when voltage is applied, then the current will be start flowing through the conductor. For example, it is not fixed value, just it is we are assuming as a variable value. So initially just we are applying 1 volt, right? So I hope all of you understand. Just we are applied 1 volt. So the current passing through the circuit we are assuming as a 1 amp. Similarly, whenever it will be increases to the 10 volts, the same amount of the current will be flowing through the circuit is a 10 amps. If you are increasing to 20, so then the current flowing through the circuit also 20. Means the value of voltage is whenever we are increasing, the value of the current also increasing. So when the value of voltage is we are decreasing, in the same manner the current value also decreases. So that phenomena we are called as a linearity. So from the diagram we can observe here, for example, the voltage we are taking on the x-axis and the current we are taking on the y-axis. For example, we are applying 1 volt, so then we are getting the current as a 1 amp. We are applying the 2 volts, the current we are getting as a 2 amps. For example, we are applying the 5 volts, the current we are assuming measured as a 5, so it is a 10. So when we are draw all or we are connecting all the dots or the points, a straight line passing through the horizon, so within a 45 degrees, a straight line passing through the horizon with an angle of 45 degrees. So that type of elements we are called as a linear. Non-linear is nothing but, for example, we are taking a circuit it is connected with the diode. Diode is a non-linear device. So just we are giving the same voltage and current. First we are applying the 1 volt. Initially we are getting as a 1 amp. But whenever we are applying the 5 volts, the current is increases to 10 amps. Almost double. Just we are assuming 1 volt is applied. So 1 we are getting here. But whenever the 10 volts we are applied, so we are getting the 20. So when we are applying 20, we are getting the 30. So when we are applying the 30, just it drop to the 10. So when we are joining these all points, so from 0, 1, 20, 30, 10. So like this. So it is a non-linear. Linear is nothing but the angle should be same along the x and y axis. But here we are getting the values in the different at the same time. The graph is the linear. So non-linear. So that's why. So those will be we are called as a non-linears, right? So that is a major thing we are discussed here. Okay. Right. So this is about the Ohm's law. Right. First we discuss about the applications. In case of the application, so it is used in the linear circuits only. So always it is used in the linear circuits. Linear, must already we know about the what is the linear and non-linear. Linear is nothing but the characteristics of a device or element should be a straight line passing through the horizon. Those will be we are called as a linear elements or devices or circuits. Non-linear is nothing but we are obtain the non-linear characteristics, means the straight line is not passing through the horizon with an angle of 45 degrees. Those will be we are called as a non-linear elements. Like examples manam diodes ganivandi, FET, MOSFET, semiconducting devices all are the example for the non-linear circuits. Linear is nothing but resistor, inductor, capacitor. These three are the examples for the linear. So these are the important things will be we are discuss about the Ohm's law. That is the first one. Next, second application, it can be used for both AC and DC supply. So both AC and DC. So if you are using the AC, the Ohm's law can be valid. If you are using the DC, Ohm's law can be valid. But the condition should be those are the linear circuits only. That is a major important thing. Next, it is used for derivation. Derivation is nothing but derivation of some electrical theorems. So some of the electrical theorems can be determined by means of the Ohm's law only. So that can be enable and disable the Ohm's law. Next, apply to materials such as copper, aluminum, iron, brass, bronze. So these are the conductive materials. So such type of materials can be utilized the Ohm's law. So silicon, germanium or other carbon materials cannot satisfy the application of the Ohm's law. So these are the important thing we are discussing here. Next, to find out current through a branch or voltage. So in the previous case only we are taking the one example. Just we are connecting a voltage source to the resistor. If for example more than the two resistors will be available and different branches will be available. So in that case the determination of current is difficult. Just for example, it is a resistor. It is one of the resistor. So it is one of the resistor. So we are applying a voltage source here. Right. So what is the current direction? The current will be flowing through this resistor and this resistor also divided into two portions and the current is passing through this resistor also. For example, it is a R1, this is a R2 and this is a R3. So the I current will be start flowing from here. It is divided into two parts at this location, that is to I2 I3. సో మనం సమ్మేషన్ ఏం రాస్తాం? టోటల్ కరెంట్ I is equals to I2 plus I3 గా రాసుకుంటా ఉంటాం. సో we don't know the I2 value because it is depending upon the resistance value. Similarly, I3 also we don't know because it is depending upon the R3 resistor value. So we don't know the I1 value. So that is depending upon the R1. So in that cases, there are number of currents is available in a single circuit. To determine those current values, so the Ohm's law can be helpful. So ఎలా ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేస్తాం సార్ అంటే మనకు తెలిసిన ఫార్ములాసే కదా. I is equals to V by R. So if you know the R value, if you know the V value, it is easy to find out the I value. So if for example we don't know R value, if you know the voltage value and the current value, then it is easy to find out the resistance value. Similarly, so whatever the missing will be there, so that can be determined. But major focus, so to determine the current or voltage in a specific group. So those things will be we can get on the third same electrical circuit subject, right? So next, to simplify circuit. To simplify circuit. So some of the cases, the network is very zigzag. Number of loops will be there, number of elements will be there. So the calculation is difficult. So previous గా మనం చూసినప్పుడు 3 ఎలిమెంట్స్ మాత్రమే నేను డ్రా చేశాను. అక్కడే మనకు 3 కరెంట్స్ అనేవి వచ్చినాయి. సో I1, I2, I3 అనేది. But if the number of branches is increases, then the number of currents also increases. So అప్పుడు మన calculation becomes complicated. So because of that reason, to simplify a circuit and equivalent. So for example, so I draw here, it is a one resistor, there is a one resistor, and it is a one resistor will be like this. Right? It is a one branch. So there are the two resistors. It is connected to the one branch. So and here, this is a one branch. Just we are assuming like this, right? So this is a I1. This is I2, this is I3. I2 is divided into 3 portions. Here the one current is flowing, from here the one current is flowing, from here one current is flowing. So we don't know how much current is divided into 3 parts. Next, the same current is flowing here up to here. These two currents will be join here. So the resultant current will be come to this resistor. So it is very complicated. So how many currents can be determined? There is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So totally 8 currents should be determined. So it is very complicated. It will be taking very large time. So to simplify this circuit, so we are using a equivalent circuit. So means we are applying the Ohm's law. Then we are simplify the circuit. Finally, we are getting the circuit like as a single resistor is directly connected to the voltage source. So ఇంతకు ముందు కాంప్లికేటెడ్ గా ఉన్న నెట్వర్క్ అంతా కూడా మనము ఈక్వలెంట్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ నెక్స్ట్ ఈక్వలెంట్ వోల్టేజ్ గా మనం కన్వర్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు కరెంట్ డిటర్మినేషన్ ఇస్ వెరీ ఈజీ. సో ఇక్కడ నుంచి మనం చేయొచ్చు కదా ఈజీగా. I is equal to directly we can write it as a formula as V by R equivalent. So number of resistors is converted into the one single R value. Voltage is constant, it does not changes. So then we can easily determine the I value. So V value know, R value also we know. So then it is clearly we find out the I value. So that is one of the application. Simplify circuits. Simplify the circuits. Next, we can apply the Ohm's law to determine the power handling capacity. Power handling capacity. So which circuit can be carries how much current. So that is also decided by means of the Ohm's law. Then finally, it is used to determine the fuse rating. So whatever we are using in our domestic application or industrial application or commercial application, the Ohm's law can be used to determine the fuse rating of a circuit or network. So దానివల్ల మనకి ఏముందంటే రిలేషన్షిప్. from the relationship. If we find out the I value, for example, we are taking a copper conductor. So how much current it can be carried, that can be determined by means of relationship. So what is the relationship? I is equals to V by R. Ante what we know, the voltage we should be know, R value should be know. Means the resistance offered by means of the copper also we know. At the same time, how much the voltage can be carried. So if you know the two things, then it is easy to find out the capacity of current. So generally power formula can be written as P is equals to